Hello and welcome back inside Alumni Field for the second game of a doubleheader between the Michigan Wolverines and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Our first matchup was won by the Wolverines by a final score of 11-1 on the walk-off three-run homer by Tara Blanco to clinch it in the bottom of the fifth. And for this one, Blanco will be in the circle. I'm Alex Train, joined by Lucas Vargas, just about ready for first pitch. This game was the regularly scheduled Friday at 6 p.m. game. The early game was Saturday's game moved to this one. Michigan looking to sweep the doubleheader here. And we're just about ready for first pitch. Blanco is in the circle after throwing a no-hitter against the Eastern Michigan Eagles on Tuesday. It was her first career no-hitter to lower her ERA to 1.25 on the season. She'll be facing a Scarlet Knights order that has some decent hitters. She's got to be careful of that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Rutgers have some success in the first inning against Megan Bobian, one of the better pitchers in the country. But after that, it was all Michigan scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the first, and the pitching getting back to normal after that. Finishing with 11 runs in 5 innings, pretty impressive stuff for the Michigan lineup that got back on track after a couple games of less than average offense, I would say.
Blanco is out there. She will be hitting as well in her normal spot. Courtney Richardson is playing left field and will be hit for the designated player Lou Allen as usual. And the first hitter of the game is Jess Hughes, and she'll take a pitch outside from Blanco. Sergio Villarreal, who was behind first base in the first game, he's moved behind the plate. Laura Head, who was at third, has moved over to first. And Terry Holt, the home plate umpire in our first game, is now down at third as Blanco delivers on Hughes. That pitch also a little bit low.
Let's see if we get some quicker calls behind the plate this time around.
In that first game, Hughes was 0 for 2. Not a whole lot of at-bats for these Rutgers hitters. They only got to see the plate a couple times as it was only a 5-inning game. But Hughes lines that one into right field. Oh, and a nice diving play out there. What a snag there in right field by Haley Hoganrod, who normally plays left. She's playing right with Blanco in the circle, laying out for that one for 1 out.
Hoganrod taking flight, great across the body catch as well, sacrificing her body for the team. Gotta love it.
So that was a good hard hit ball by Jess Hughes, made good contact. I'll now bring up Haley Akalatube, who got hit a line drive when she was in the on-deck circle in that first game. She takes the first pitch a little bit high. Akalatube was 0 for 1 with a walk and scored a run. She got that walk in the first and then came around to score on a double by Rebecca Hall, who's on deck. The 1-0 pitch is also low, so Blanco not locating very well to start this game. And now there's going to be a conference out on the mound. Alexander will come in to chat. Just trying to make sure everything's all right. Bonnie Thole out there talk.
Yeah, nothing wrong with an early conversation in the circle. Tara Blanco already had a nice day of work at first base, and of course the walk-off home run to end the first game of the doubleheader. Big shot to center field.
She also had 3 walks in the first game and was up 3-0 in the count on the home run. Looked like she was going to get a 4th walk, and she was swinging away and hit the big homer. Here's the 2-0 ground ball by Haklatube. Nice backhanded play by Canfield. Flip over to first, 2 outs. So some decent contacted balls by Rutgers, but some fine defensive plays by the Michigan Wolverines here to get 2 quick outs for their starter Blanco. That'll bring up the big hitter in the Rutgers order, Rebecca Hall, who had the double and the lone RBI for Rutgers in the first game. 6 homers, 6 triples. It was her 11th double of the season when she ripped one down the right field line, a lefty hitter, pulled it past Blanco, who was at first in that first game. It was really one of the only good hits off Gobian, who then settled in and just mowed down the Rutgers order.
Yeah, not much success after that double, but Rebecca Hall certainly capable of doing some damage as a batter.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and she just nubs it over to first. Falk fields and tags the bag. So, not the best command from Blanco in the first, but she gets through it with a 1-2-3 first inning. We go to the bottom half of the first, and we'll see this Michigan order that finally broke through. 11 hits in that first game, scored 11 runs. They also drew 5 walks. They had 16 base runners, 11 hits, but the power was what was able to bring it in grand slam from Madison Uden, the 3-run home from Tara Blanco, a 2 RBI double by Aiden Falk. Everybody contributing.
We'll see what the Wolverines can do against the new Rutgers pitcher. Whitney Jones brings 3.77 ERA, 8-10 on the year, 18 games started, 4 complete games with 37 strikeouts and 30 walks on the year.
Yes, Rutgers pitching staff, as we mentioned in the first game, having a bit of a rough season. Jones enters with a 1.68 whip. That means 135 hits and 98.1 innings, along with the 30 walks. So there's, again, Michigan's going to have a lot of opportunities to get runners on. We'll see if they can continue to drive in runs with runners aboard. The opposing batting average against Jones, 322. Michigan jumped over Kiefer, all over Kiefer. She walked 4 hitters in that first game, and they made her pay. The Falk double chased her out, but then Taryn Collins had a couple strong innings for Rutgers before Michigan finally got to her in the bottom of the 5th and ended the game right there.
Yeah, it took Michigan a little bit of time to figure out Collins, but once they did, it was back to scoring runs. We'll see if Michigan can start off well like they did in game number 1.
So here's Faith Canfield, and she takes that first pitch a bit inside, 1-0. Canfield was 1 for 3 in the first game. Her average now up to 403. Doesn't draw a ton of walks. So her OBP stands at 431. She takes that one inside, 2-0.
Rutgers had a lot of walks in the first game as well. Wolverines did a good job staying patient and capitalizing.
And there's Canfield. She swings, hits that one into the gap. Coming over is Burkar and makes the catch. First out of the inning. Put too much under that, did Canfield. That's the only change. Burkar in center. Otherwise, the rest of the defense is the same. Jones, the pitcher. But Hakla, Tube, and Bowman in left and right. And then the infield, as it was in the first, Wells, Hughes, Moy, and Hall left to right. Maddox behind the plate. As Natalie Peters steps in now for Michigan, she takes a strike. She had a good single back in the first inning to get aboard and start that 4-run first. Came around to score on the grand slam from Uden. Peters will follow that one back to the screen, and now she's behind 0-2.
I believe Peters was also one of the runs that scored in the 5th inning.
Peters did score 2 runs in that game. She was 2 for 4 overall. Shows the bunt as the slap hitter. Now she gets ready for the pitch, and she fouls it back to the screen. A little bit late, some of these swings. So the count remains 0-2 on Natalie Peters. And she swings and grounds it right back up the middle, a base hit. And Michigan has their first hit of the game. That was good contact, and the slap hitter aboard for the big hitters in the lineup. Tara Blanco.
And Peters able to go right up the seam, take advantage of the pitch over the plate. Having a really, really nice afternoon, and Tara Blanco, a lot of success today as well. See if she can keep it going.
Blanco's 3 walks helped her up her OBP, entering the game to 459. That's number 1 on the team, just a hair bit ahead of Madison Uden, 453. That was her 10th homer of the season, the one to win the game. And as we mentioned, that hitter looked like it got a piece of her hand maybe, and then the thigh. That pitch was inside. Blanco shakes it off and trots down to first. So Michigan now with 2 runners aboard. Thanks to that hit by pitch, it'll bring up Lou Allen.
We have Blanco getting on base once again this afternoon. One way or another, she
keeps finding her way on. And yeah, the 10th home run for Blanco means that Michigan now has a double-digit home run hitter for the first time since 2016.
See Josh Metellus in the stands. Probably coming over from football practice.
Yep, spring practice is going on. So 0-1, the count on Lou Allen. She takes a first strike. And she swings and grounds it. That's a little shallow. She's going to tag the runner for one. Throw to first, not in time. Oh, wait. Changed her mind. I don't know. Guess she was safe. Interesting. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, Moy, who tagged the runner, Blanco, and then threw over to first. And the initial call by Laura Head was safe, and then she kind of made a motion like it was an out.
I think she might have been.
And there's some confusion. Looked like
the safe call referred to Allen, and the out was to Blanco.
Yeah, Jones started to stroll off the circle like the inning was over, but she's back in, and she'll face Uden, who had a big day in the first game. Uden went 2 for 3, but with 4 RBIs, a double and a homer. And she'll have an opportunity to put Michigan on top and bring in some runs. Runners on the corners and 2 outs for Uden, and she swings and grounds it hard to second. But right there is Moy fires to first. That'll end the inning. So Michigan gets a couple runners on thanks to a single and a hit by pitch, but they unable to bring it in. So we go to the second. Still scoreless. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Well, scoreless inning, but Michigan's bat still able to put some pressure on the Rutgers defense once again. It's an encouraging sign. They're continuing to put girls on base, and if they're able to continue that, then should bring in a hefty amount of runs in game number 2.
And great benefits when you purchase 10 or more. Visit goblue.com/tickets for more information.
Defense coming back out there as Blanco starts and doing her warm-up pitches. Alexander behind the plate. Some fans now strolling on in. A good number of the folks from game 1 stuck around, only about 25 to 30 minutes. In between, so most have stuck around, but there are some new fans strolling in for this early evening contest between the Wolverines and the Scarlet Knights. Michigan now in conference is up to 9-1, 34-7 on the season, continuing to be number 1 in the Big Ten.
Michigan in the last game gave up only their second run at home all season long. Let's look to keep that number low through this afternoon.
So Maya Moy leads off against Blanco, and she will take the first pitch just a tad high, 1-0. Moy, wearing number 99, had a single back in the first inning of the first game. With Hall standing on second. Looked like it might be the second run for Rutgers. They held Hall at third, and then Bobian managed to wiggle out of the jam in that first, and then Michigan got right on top of the bottom of the first, and then the game was pretty much over from that point forward. Moy grounds it to short. Oh, nice play. Backhand throw by Rodriguez. Oh, boy. Just a web gem machine out there at short. Backhand play to her feet. Fire across the diamond to get a decently quick runner in Moy. Fine play.
Athletic grab and an impressive throw. A lot of speed across the diamond in time for the out. Good work by the infield.
Rodriguez continues to be so stellar there. Bowman will take strike 1. Nicole Bowman was 0 for 2 in the first game. In that contest, she was hitting behind Sierra Maddox. Here in this one, she's hitting ahead of Maddox. A pitch just high, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Bit off the plate outside.
Blanco looking to attack Rutgers not only offensively, but with their pitching as well. Such a versatile player. Valuable asset with the senior leadership as well.
It's a good pitch there by Blanco for a strike, 2-2. Blanco delivers the 2-2 pitch. You're just outside, 3-2. Interesting thing we learned, during the week is that Blanco and Katie Alexander call their own games, whereas with Beaubien, the signs come from the coaching staff. 3-2 pitch, a swing and a foul tip, just getting a piece as the ball bounced over Alexander and back to the screen.
Well, when you have a junior and a senior as your catcher and pitcher, they've seen a lot of softball, and they've probably been in a lot of coaching meetings as well. Coaches should have confidence in those two.
3-2 pitch, swing and a fly ball into medium depth into right. Hoganrod gets under it, 2 outs.
Nice easy play for Haley Hoganrod. Not much to worry about with her. Manning the outfield, is a very solid defender, and her bat really picking up as well. Nice play for the Wolverines.
Hoganrod, one of the sophomores who are starting to make an impact. Her and Uden both having good sophomore seasons. Uden was one that was perhaps a bit more likely because she played late in the year. Hoganrod was sparingly used in her freshman season and was not really anywhere near the top of the depth chart to start the season. It was Thais Gonzalez who got the starts in Tampa, but Hoganrod has seized the job. That pitch inside to Sierra Maddox, 1-0. Hoganrod plays left when Beaubien is in the circle because Blanco is at first and Falk is in right. And when Blanco moves to the circle, Falk moves from right to first, and Hoganrod kicks over into right. That one popped up by Maddox. Will it have room for Alexander? No, just gets on the other side of the netting and bounces up a couple rows back and gets claimed by a fan, but has to give it back to the event staff.
Unfortunate that they don't let them keep a souvenir.
One and one is the count on Maddox, the senior catcher for Rutgers. That pitch just outside, 2-1. Blanco's really had the best pitching year of her career, recruited as a two-way player. Her first 2 seasons, there wasn't really room for her on the pitching staff, and she became a deadly hitter. Then last year, transitioning to more of a starter, should be used a little bit more, as there's a foul by Maddox, 2-2. And her hitting declined as she had to pick up the slack pitching-wise, and she was neither terrific pitching nor hitting. But this season, she's put it all together, become a really capable number 2 starter for the Wolverines, while also a very dangerous hitter.
So all that experience adds up over time, and senior year able to put it all together, making an impact.
The 2-2 pitch, and just getting a piece, extending the arms, was Maddox to shoot it the opposite way off the screen. And the count remains 2-2, a lengthy battle here between Maddox and Blanco. Blanco shakes off the signs from Alexander, the 2-2 pitch, and just getting a piece of it again and putting it out of the ballpark behind her was Maddox.
Maddox doing a nice job, senior to senior, at really working this at bat, dragging it out as long as she can.
Blanco gets ready and delivers to, that hit her up high too. Looks like off the left arm, and that's a hit by pitch that will put a runner on.
She's in pain.
Yeah, that was not good.
Kind of flex her hand a little bit, but man, she is really hurting on that one.
It didn't look like it hit her hand. It looked like it got her more up by sort of the elbow funny bone area, or maybe the bicep. Looks like we might have a pinch runner coming, as Maddox will.
She is having trouble with that left arm.
Will jog out. The crowd gives her a hand. And the pinch runner for Rutgers is going to be number 1, Jacqueline Cott.
Another senior.
And then one of the only players who did not appear in that first game for Rutgers is the designated player in this one, Anissa Iliopoulos. That's a fun name. Iliopoulos, the designated player, 196 average. Does have 2 homers, though. So 2 outs, runner on first. Iliopoulos swings and lines it right to first into the glove of Aiden Falk. So again, Rutgers continues to make solid contact, but it's just finding the gloves of the Michigan defenders, and the hit by pitch does not threaten at all. So we go to the bottom of the second. Michigan and Rutgers tied at 0. You're listening to Michigan softball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, solid work again by the Michigan defense, just allowing the one runner on base after the hit by pitch. Not much of a threat, but they have pulled out the name that Michigan city again.
Yeah, they did that in the first. And the
Faith Canfield, the Californian, having some trouble.
yeah. Well, you know, the interesting thing about this team is, you know, that they do have a lot of hitters and players from different cities. That's how Michigan softball has really been able to remain a national contender, even while they have had
like Iliopolis will be the new
Jermaine 10. Yep. No, it's going to be number 11, Christine Melito.
Oh, okay.
Who were just getting the signs.
My mistake.
So they're going to put Sierra Maddox out of the game with that injury from the hit by pitch, the new player behind the plate.
Makes this warm up a little bit more important.
Yep, having to find that rhythm with Whitney Jones.
The Wolverines will see Whitney Jones for the second inning tonight. See if the Wolverines can get some more runners on base. They did do a good job of that in the first inning with a hit, a couple walks. We head into the scoreless bottom of the second inning.
Michigan looking to get on the board and put themselves in a good position to win game number 2. Katie Alexander will lead it off. That foul makes it 0-1. Falk in the on-deck circle. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Alexander, Falk, and Hoganrod for the Wolverines. Whitney Jones delivers, and that one just getting a piece as Alexander looks like it fouled off her foot or the leg a little bit.
Alexander, really nice first game as well. She had 2 runs, 2 of 3 from the plate. Calling a nice game with Bogan as well.
Here's the pitch, and that one is outside. 1-2. Now the count on Alexander. The Saline, Michigan native, junior catcher who's played just about every game for the Wolverines this season. And she hits that one over the glove of the shortstop, Hughes, and into left center field. She's digging for 2, and she gets the double. Wow, she caught the outfielders sleeping. Hakla Tube and Burkar out there in left and center, just taking their sweet time. And Alexander, not the fastest runner of all time, but she hit the bag hard and an aggressive play to get down to second, a double, and moves herself into scoring position as Michigan trying to take the lead here in the bottom of the second inning.
Well, great recognition. Savvy veteran move by Alexander to recognize that they weren't even throwing to the second baseman initially. They throw into the cutoff throw. Takes advantage.
So now at the plate is Falk. Falk finally starting to break out of the slump after that big first game. Falk was 2 for 3 in that one. Runner on second, nobody out. That pitch is high, 1-1.
Alexander getting a good jump to third.
Looking to move up. If nothing else, the job of a hitter in Falk's situation is to move that runner down to third.
Got to get the ball into play.
The 1-1 pitch. Falk hits it hard. That one is to deep center field. Backtrack. Whoa, gone, a home run. And Michigan now continuing to hit with power against Rutgers. A 2-run shot. And Michigan takes the early lead 2-0 over Rutgers here in the bottom of the second. Falk now connects for her 5th homer of the season. That puts her into 3rd on the team.
Aiden Falk really having a nice afternoon, seeing the ball well today, getting some really nice shots on these Rutgers pitchers, clearing the fence.
Airmail Aiden, and she puts that one into left center field. Michigan finally letting the bats shine here in this one, and it brings up Haley Hoganrod. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. And that one is hit down the line in left field. Hoganrod hits the bag hard at first, and she will stay there for a single. So now Michigan's starting to barrel them up well. That's now their 3rd hit here in the bottom of the second, 4th hit on the game. Looking to continue the hits coming.
No outs yet either for the Wolverines, as they're one batter away from restarting the lineup. The pressure on Rutgers defense has not declined since the 4 o'clock start time of the first game.
Rodriguez at the plate now, and she shows Buns the pitch is way high and outside. Rodriguez beat out an infield single in the first game.
Been really impressive is just the Wolverines 3 home runs today, scoring quickly.
Would you like to see? Here's the pitch, and that one is a little low, 2-0. So Jones falling behind the hitters.
Trying to get more hesitant to put the ball comfortably in the strike zone. They're going to try and work the corners.
Here's the pitch, swing and a bouncer off the plate and back to the screen, 2-1.
So Rodriguez, a really speedy runner. If she can just get the ball in play, she has a chance to reach base.
2-1, shows bunt once again. There's a throw going down to second, and Hoganrod is in there stealing second base. Michigan staying aggressive on the base paths.
Hoganrod takes advantage of the backup catcher for Rutgers after the injury to Sierra Maddox. High throw results in a safe play at second.
Rodriguez shows bunt once again. She lays it down, pushes Hoganrod over to third. Rodriguez out at first, as coming into play it was the third baseman Wells. So now runner on third, 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Another sacrifice.
Nice work on the bunt, doing what it needed to accomplish. Advancing Hoganrod, or not advancing her.
Oh, she didn't move over.
For some reason, she has not moved over. I'm not sure about the reason why.
I reflexively just called it.
Well, she definitely ran that direction.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw her in the background.
I don't know why she
didn't finish it off.
Why she got sent back.
Canfield, though, will have the opportunity to bring the run in anyway.
A 1 out that goes for nothing. I thought that was a successful bunt moving to third, but I guess it is not the case.
That one is swung on and lined down the left field line. Canfield out in front of it. Count goes to 1-2.
Another hard foul ball towards the Rutgers dugout. We've seen a couple of those today. Some of them kind of dangerous.
That pitch is outside. 2-2 on Canfield. Swing and a liner down the left field line. Oh, just foul. And she scalded that ball, and it just hooked. I mean, that is a very tight play, but all over it is Terry Holt. He calls it foul, so we remain 2-2 on Canfield.
Just barely hooked. Foul's the right call, but if it had just stayed fair, it would have been the perfect location. She would have at least turned a double. But Faith Canfield, not one to strike out. She always likes to get the ball in play, always able to make contact with the pitch. She's going to work to put it in the right spot. One of the best players in the country.
Canfield waiting to step back in for cuts. Two and two, runner on second, one out. Here's the pitch. Canfield watches it outside. This is a good at-bat. Waiting to see what Jones gives her.
Canfield only 3 strikeouts and 5 walks on the year. Loves to put the ball in play.
The 3-2 pitch out in front of that one just got a piece. 3-2 it remains. She didn't like her swing there, but she'll get another shot at it.
I think she liked that pitch, shaking her head on missing it.
The 3-2, she lines that one into the gap. And coming over to cut it off is Bowman. That'll hold Canfield at first, but the runner Hoganrod scores. Michigan now leads 3-0 on their 5th hit of the game. Still only one out here in the bottom of the second.
While Canfield finds another pitch that she likes and capitalizes on it. Great shot into deep outfield. And Haley Hoganrod rewarded for her bats are really alive. Natalie Peters will head up for her second at-bat of the game.
And she takes a ball outside, 1-0. Peters back and had a single. She's looking to continue doing that. The 1-0 pitch, she swings and shoots that one high, just clipping the top of the screen in the left field side. Count 1-1 on her.
It's a really successful afternoon. Of course, reaching base in the first inning. Always a dangerous player with her speed.
The 1-1, that pitch is high and outside. 2-1 on Peters. The lefty hitter facing the righty Jones. Blanco on deck, Allen after her. As the Michigan hitters have started to get to Jones here in the bottom of the second. Peters gets a piece of that. Jones does throw with some good speed. And Peters is a little late on some of these swings.
Yeah, Jones does have pretty good velocity on her pitches. Meaning that you got to hit it just right, but likely to be able to get some good distance on it.
The 2-2 on Peters, she does get a piece of it again, continuing to make enough contact to stay alive, but not enough contact to really make anything happen. Here's the pitch, swinging a grounder to third. Oh, boy, and that's an error by Wells. She crouched down a little bit. It was just a slow chopper to third and just unable to corral it in her glove.
They called it out, though.
Right. Might have been, I guess, an infraction.
I guess so.
An infraction on Peters.
Coach Hutchins is not very happy about that at all. Very, very frustrated with that.
So 2 outs then in that case. Peters goes back to the dugout.
Able to mask an error from Rutgers.
And get Jones a little bit closer to getting out of the inning. So 2 outs. Blanco hits that one hard to third, but this time a much better play from Wells. She throws out Blanco. That'll end the inning, but Michigan gets 3 runs there in the bottom of the second. A 2-run homer by Aiden Falk, also an RBI single from Faith Canfield to bring in Haley Hoganrod. And Michigan leads by 3 after 2 innings of play here from Alumni Field. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Really strong work by the Michigan offense, and it seems like a couple miscues cost them opportunities for even more runs. They had the bunt that got down that for some reason Hoganrod did not advance to third. And then the infraction on the error at third base for Rutgers by Megan Wells.
So Blanco goes back out there, and by my count, it has now been 4 2/3. She went 4 2/3 in the Penn State game. The last 4 2/3 without giving up a hit. She had the 7-inning no-hitter against Eastern Michigan. Now she's had 2 no-hit innings here against Rutgers. So by that count, 13 2/3 consecutive innings of no-hit baseball from Tara Blanco, just on a tear.
Yeah, Tara really tearing it up. As you mentioned there, she is locked in right now for her senior year, both at the plate and inside the circle. And as you mentioned, having some inconsistency doing both duties early in her career, really locked into both roles this season. And it's such a dangerous piece in the Big Ten. Probably one of the most feared hitters and also a pretty dominant pitcher in her own right.
So Blanco goes back out there. And we'll get set to face the 8-9-1. And Wells grounds it to third. Uden missed it for a second, but then recovers and gets the quick throw. 1 pitch, 1 out there for Blanco.
Being at least able to get, or rather, Uden at least able to get her glove down in front of the ball to stop it, pick it up on the second attempt, and get the throw in time. Good concentration. Good job just not letting the ball get out of the infield.
So now we go to the 9-hitter, Adriana Burkhardt, center fielder. And she'll take strike 1. Here's the 0-1. That's the strike.
They're not going to give Burkhardt a good look from the plate, the left-handed hitter.
There's the pitch, and she's way late on that swing. Taps it foul. Count remains 0-2.
Having a hard time in that slapper technique, trying to time up Tara's pitches. Tara doing a good job putting some real zip on them.
So now 0-2 on Burkhardt. I'll do it again. Blanco delivers. Swing and a miss. Down and in, and just fooled Burkhardt. So now 2 outs here in the top of the third. Blanco making quick work of this Rutgers order.
Yeah, Burkhardt just never really looked comfortable in that at-bat against Tara. Tara seems like she's feeding off the momentum of her last couple starts, and then any day that you hit a 3-run shot, that's got to feel good too.
2 outs, and now it's Hughes. That pitch bounces in. Blanco still hasn't had the best command of all time in this one, but overall has been pretty solid. Doing enough to get the necessary outs against an okay lineup. The 1-0 pitch on Hughes is taken for a strike. Hughes flew out to right field, and Hoganrod laid out for it back in the first. See if Rutgers can get anything going. The 1-1 pitch to Hughes, I guess off the plate outside. The crowd not a big fan of that.
Looked like a crisp-looking pitch, but Tara unable to get the call. She kind of smiles and steps back to the mound.
2-1 on Jess Hughes. Blanco delivers, swinging a ground ball. Falk comes over, but it goes foul. 2-2 on Jess Hughes. The 2-2 pitch, and Hughes just gets a piece. Once again, just like in that first game, once Beaubien settled in, it didn't seem like Rutgers had any idea what was coming, and they were off balance pretty much on every swing. That's what's going on right now.
It seems like Rutgers just not able to really key in on any of the Michigan pitches, and Wolverines eager to get their bats back out there.
The 2-2 pitch is, I guess, low, but the runner goes down to first as if it was a walk, but Alexander points to the scoreboard and says it was 2-2 on the scoreboard, and Carol Hutchins says that shouldn't be a walk. And now the home plate umpire, Sergio Villarreal, beckons Hughes back and says, nice try, Sly.
Well, Rutgers trying to get on base any way possible and
trying to finesse a walk there.
trying to play the umpire the best they can. Almost worked.
Yeah.
Really.
It was Katie Alexander had to save that. The 3-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball to short. Rodriguez makes the play, fires to first, and out. So a 1-2-3, top of the third. Michigan's hitters will go back out there, up 3-0. We go to the bottom of the third. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
The Wolverines yet to allow a base runner for Rutgers, as their bats have successfully applied pressure in every inning up to this point. Due up for Michigan will be Lou Allen, Madison Uden, and Katie Alexander.
4-5-6.
Nice spot for the Wolverine lineup to be in. Madison Uden having a great day as well. She'll bat fifth. See if Lou Allen can get something going for.
She struggled a bit today, relative. She was 0 for 2, but did get a walk. She draws quite a bit of those. That boosts her on-base percentage. It's at 379, almost 100 points higher than her batting average. She's got double action here today over at Ray Fisher Stadium. Michigan baseball is trying to win yet another game on their big-time winning streak. They're playing host to Maryland. They lead 9-4 in the 8th inning.
It's the Wolverines team, the baseball team that has been just locked in since that Lawrence Tech upset. They have used that as fuel for the fire and rattled off 15 straight, looking to make it 16. It's phenomenal effort for the baseball team.
So now Lou Allen digs in. First pitch is low, ball 1. She has a good eye for the pitches. Seeing Jones for the second time. She came up in the first with Blanco on base and grounded to the second baseman, who then tagged Blanco for 1. That's a strike, 1-1. On Allen leading off in the bottom of the third.
I think when you think about Lou Allen, you just have to be encouraged with the progress she made coming back from the early season injury. Really looking like she'll be a bright spot in this Wolverine lineup for the next couple years.
That pitch is grounded. Oh, right into the glove. Nice play. Throw to first. Good play by Wells. That was on verge of getting by her and being a single for Allen. She just can't buy a break today.
Wells made a couple nice plays lately now over at that third base position. Almost made the error, but got fortunate with the infraction. She's made the last 2 stops pretty impressively.
So Uden steps in. She grounded out to second her first time up. She takes that pitch for a ball.
A whole lot of power that Uden possesses. See if she can get a good shot off of Jones.
Pitch high and outside. Now the count goes to 2-0 on Uden. (2-0) coming from Jones. And I guess that's inside. So Uden now perhaps going to try to draw a walk. She draws a decent bit, not a ton. More than somebody like Canfield, but 9 in about 100 plate appearances. And that one is high and outside. So there's walk number 10 on the season.
Uden showed off her power in the first game. Rutgers trying to pitch more around her, make it tough, but Uden staying patient, gets on base. That's up Katie Alexander, who has had a phenomenal afternoon.
Alexander had a double back in the second that was really a single, and she took advantage of lazy fielding Going to try to get another strong inning going for Michigan with the runner on first. Jumping up after catching that pitch was Melito. Now 0-1 on Alexander. And once again, Melito jumps right up after catching it. 2-0, though. Jones really struggling to find the strike zone.
Melito replacing the original catcher, Sierra Maddox, who got hit in the arm by a pitch, left the game. She was high on one throw to second base that Hogenrod was able to steal.
And now we have a conference out on the mound. Melito, along with members of coaching staff, have come in to chat with Whitney Jones, trying to make sure this game doesn't quite get away from her. Alexander's average on the year up to 347. A terrific breakout campaign, one of several Wolverines having breakout seasons.
Just continues to elevate her play as the Wolverines need it, and just a consistent presence both behind the plate and in the box.
2-1 is inside, 3-0. And now in real danger of walking back-to-back hitters is Whitney Jones. Uden does have 3 steals on the season, and Alexander's taking all the way, and that's a ball. Not sure where it missed, maybe a tad inside or a bit low. So back-to-back walks and a 4-pitch walk issued there by Whitney Jones. That'll put 2 on with 1 out and bring up Aiden Falk, who's had a huge day to finally break out of the slump.
Aiden Falk, big shot in the second inning.
Home run. She's also had a double today. Added some RBIs. She's got an opportunity for more. 2 runners on and only 1 out. And Falk will take that one for a strike, 0-1. Alexander on first, Uden on second.
Wolverines really trying to extend this lead, have an opportunity.
The 0-1 pitch is high, up near the head. Oh, Falk, 1-1. Jones just struggling with command on the season, 32 walks in 102 thirds innings pitched. And that one is swung on a little bit late by Falk and shot it opposite side, just in front of the Rutgers dugout, bounced off the screen.
See Aiden Falk find the pitch that she likes.
The 1-2 on Falk. She swings and hits it just outside of the reach of Wells, who came chasing over in foul territory in front of her own dugout, trying to snare it, but it just drops in. So the count stays 1-2. Falk battling, looking for the right pitch from Jones. The 1-2 coming. It is low, 2-2. Falk staying patient.
Falk doing a great job at trying to find the pitch that she wants while she's locked in. She knows she's feeling it.
Here it comes, and she just gets a piece as it bounces in the dirt, and it's tough for Melito to control. She continues to battle the lefty hitter as the skies have really become a bit more gray and the rain threatening. This is the second game of a doubleheader. Michigan won the first one, 11-1. Trying to get the second win, and man, Falk just continues. This is kind of like a baseball at bat. It's going on forever.
Really working Whitney Jones, who's now up to into the 50s for the pitch count. Approaching the 60s.
Jones steps back on and gets ready one more time. Her delivery to Falk is at the letters and just high, 3-2. Falk trying to draw the third walk of the inning for Michigan or get a pitch. Staying very patient, the senior. Here it comes, the 3-2. She swings and skies it to left field. And Haklatube comes under it. So a lengthy at-bat, unable to turn into a hit there for Falk. She is retired for the first time today by Jones. And with 2 outs, that'll bring Hoganrod up.
Haley Hoganrod, of course, that big catch in the first inning to prevent some Rutgers base runners.
And swinging a ground ball past the third baseman, and then gloved in the hole by Jess Hughes. But that's a fantastic play by Hughes. I thought that was going to get through and scored the lead runner Uden, but instead she gets her glove on it and keeps it sort of in the infield. No play over at first on a speedy runner like Hoganrod. So to load the bases with 2 outs, but again, a run-saving play there. And Natalia Rodriguez chatting with Faith Canfield.
All the bases loaded. Michigan needs a hit. They need a base hit here to capitalize on this situation. Rodriguez, not the best hitter in Michigan's lineup, but she can just get it out of the infield. But I guess it'll be a pinch hitter instead.
And we're going to see Taylor Swearingen coming in with bases loaded.
See if Swearingen can come up big. Her first action of the afternoon. See if she can get a big hit here.
Looking to drive in some runs. And she takes that one for a ball. She is a pretty patient hitter and is capable of drawing some walks. Obviously Michigan looking for the big hit, but they will take it if it comes through a walk. That is inside, does a nice job of selling it, just kind of shifting to get out of the way of the pitch. So now the count goes to 2-0.
Just love for Swearingen to get on base by any means possible and reset the lineup. Get some real power hitters in.
Here's the 2-0 on Swearingen. She swings and hits it to left field. Backing up is Hakla Tube, and she makes the catch. That'll end the inning.
And tough break for Michigan, unable to capitalize with so many runners on base once again. Almost feels disappointed that they only have 3 runs. Feel like they've had just so many opportunities to add on to that total.
You got to stay patient and keep pressing.
The Academy will be held on Alumni Field on Thursday, May 3rd. It is open to men and women of all.
Blanco goes back out there, though, here in the top of the 4th. Michigan still leading 3-0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports. Wolverines 3 runs on 6 hits. Rutgers no runs on no hits. And they're going to try to finally get their first hit of the game. Blanco now has a streak of what we believe is 14 2/3 consecutive no-hit innings.
Yeah, and Rutgers just 1 base runner all afternoon, and that came off a hit by pitch when Tara Blanco drilled Sierra Maddox in the left arm. Maddox left the game after that injury. Since then, Rutgers has not had a base runner.
Katie Alexander practicing the throws downs as the defensive plays continue. Warm-ups. Rutgers will send their hitters back out there. It'll be 2-3-4. Hakla Tube, Hall, and Moy here in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, and Hall, obviously the big hitter in the Rutgers lineup. So Rutgers will look to get some damage going on the offensive end for really the first time since the first inning of the first game. Really no success to speak of since.
So Hakla Tube will lead off. 2-11 average. Rodriguez is checked back in at short since Swearingen was the one pinch hitting for her. And that is a strike. 0-1. Blanco, through her first 3 scoreless innings, has lowered her ERA down to 1.2. The 0-1 pitch on Haklatube. She makes contact, and there's the first base hit of the game. She's going to hit the bag hard at first, and she will stay there. Didn't get a lot on it, but just pulled it past Faith Canfield. So finally the streak of consecutive no-hit innings ceases for Blanco. And Rutgers.
Well, just a really well-timed slap by Haklatube. Almost looked like she kind of stopped and just swung at it. Hit it like a pinata.
Yeah, just getting enough of it to put it in the outfield.
And
it's a strike.
You have to point out that the Rutgers drum continues to beat.
Rebecca Hall now checks in. She takes strike 1, 0-1. Blanco delivers, and Hall gets a piece of it down the right field line into the foul corner, and it makes the catch. Haley Hoganrod, and the runner tags up and goes down to second with 1 out, but Hoganrod in foul territory, tracking it down and making a basket catch up against the wall in the corner of where the outfield wall meets the foul line wall.
Big catch by Hoganrod to get Rebecca Hall out of the batter's box. It does advance the runner to second, but Rutgers' best hitter is headed back to the dugout.
That is what Michigan likes to see.
All-out effort.
Pitch is taken for a strike. Now in is Maya Moy. With the runner on second, looking to get a run here for the Scarlet Knights. Only down 3. It's manageable. There's a grounder hit to short, shallow, and then moving in. They're going to try to get a rundown going on as the runner, Moy, was thrown out by Rodriguez, trying to scamper from second to third. There was Haklatube.
If Falk turns that to second at Canfield, I think Canfield could have made the throw to third or forced the out back at second. Instead, Falk decides to throw it across the third. So Haklatube still manning second.
With 2 outs. And that pitch is a little bit high to Nicole Bowman, 1-0. Haklatube on second. Runner in scoring position for the Scarlet Knights. There's a strike. Bowman flew out to right field. Back in the second. Hoganrod's been getting some action out there in right. She's made a diving play, a basket catch up against the wall.
Some outstanding defensive plays.
The 1-1 pitch is fouled off to the right, a little dribbler down the first baseline. Falk picks it up and flings it over to Tara Blanco, and now she's ahead of Bowman 1-2. 1 strikeout so far for Blanco. See if she can't get another one to end this top of the 4th, with Rutgers threatening to some degree. The 1-2 pitch, and that one is lined into center field. Haklatube rounding third, throw to the plate, and she is safe. The throw beat her there, but Alexander didn't tag her.
She tagged her with a glove.
She tagged her with the glove, but the ball was in her hand. Man, that was a great throw there by Natalie Peters. She was going to be out, but Alexander just couldn't put the ball in the glove. She applied the tag and everything, but taking second on the throw is Bowman. She's down at second.
Got to take the ball with you to the tag. Alexander unable to get it completely down, and Rutgers scoring their first run of the game.
So 3-1. And with a runner on second, they've got a chance for more. 0-1 on Christine Melito, who is now hitting instead of the normal catcher, Sierra Maddox, who was beaned. And that is outside 1-1.
So Rutgers trying to apply a little bit of pressure to the Michigan lead with another runner in scoring position.
The 1-1 coming. She fouls it back. And now the count is 1-2.
Tara just trying to finish this inning up without allowing any more base runners. It's the first time Rutgers has had success off her today.
The 1-2 pitch to Melito, and it is high. Two and two. Blanco delivers. The 2-2, swinging a grounder to short. Rodriguez has got it, fires to first, just rock solid defensively, and that'll end the inning. So Rutgers gets one, but nothing more. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Michigan leading 3-1 here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Last inning, Michigan loaded the bases. It appeared to have a great opportunity to bring some more runs in, but unable to capitalize. See if they can reapply pressure on the base pass once again and build up a more comfortable lead than the 3-1 lead they currently hold. As Whitney Jones, still the pitcher for the Scarlet Knights, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks. Today, no strikeouts for her in 3 innings of work. She will try out for inning number 4. Her pitch count stands at 66.
Fans have emptied out of Ray Fisher Stadium as Michigan baseball has defeated the Maryland Terrapins 10-4 in Game 1 of their series. They've now won their 16th straight game. Michigan softball looking to win their 11th straight.
It would be their
30th. There'd be their 29th,
29th out of 30, yes.
Yeah. They were 6-6 after a loss to Virginia Tech down in Texas.
Then the Wichita State game happened, and Michigan has been on fire ever since, only dropping 1 game at Iowa.
So now leading off is Faith Canfield, and she swings and pops it up sky high. Backtracking to make the catch is Jess Hughes. Michigan offensively might have used all their offense in the first game.
Yeah, I wonder after all the power they've shown if maybe those arms start to get a little tired in a doubleheader.
Would like a bit more cushion.
Clouds continue to settle in. Heavy rains expected tomorrow and Sunday.
And Peters grounds it to first base side, but it'll go foul.
Peters hit that one down the first base line. She usually likes to pepper the third base line and then allow her speed to take care of any margin of error that she may send towards the opposing fielders.
She's down 0-1 in the count against Whitney Jones. Jones delivers and Peters fouls it off the screen. And the count remains 0-2. Peters shows bunt and pulls it back. The 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2.
Wolverines trying to get the offensive firepower back that they had in the second inning where they scored 3 runs.
The 1-2 coming. Peters swings and pops it up at the same spot as Canfield. And once again, Hughes ranges back to make the catch. Just not quite barreling up the deliveries from Jones at this current moment.
Yeah, just not quite enough on it to get past that infielder's range. Tara Blanco back up, having a great afternoon. But right now the Wolverines bats are starting to lose a little bit of the life that they've had. See if she can maybe breathe some life back in.
And that pitch is a ball to Blanco, who comes up now with 2 outs. A 3-1 game in which she has mostly been cruising. There's a pitch high and tight, 2-0. Blanco was beamed back in the first, grounded out to third in the second. The 2-0 is outside 3-0, and it might just be pitching around her, but she just continues to get way ahead in counts. She leads the team by far with 20 walks. And that one is outside. Yeah, that looked like the old unintentional, intentional walk.
Yeah, Tara not going to swing at anything that egregiously outside the strike zone. And just collecting walks here in this doubleheader. Teams are very, very cautious about pitching to her.
Allen will deliver, and she pops it up down the third base line. It will get out of play. Foul.
And Rutgers really did have room to allow Blanco to walk 2 outs already in the bottom of the fourth, so should be able to handle a runner on first.
The 0-1 is taken low, 1-1.
Lou Allen hasn't quite had her breakthrough moment today.
The 1-1, she is way out in front of that one. Uh-oh. That one into the dugout, and it looked like it bounced off the leg of a Rutgers coaching staff member down there. That is not what you want to see. Here's the 1-2. That one is low and outside. Allen also draws quite a bit of walks, not anywhere close to the team lead because she really hasn't been an everyday player until recently. And she's looking to make some contact on a big hit. And again, way out in front of that one. And that one hit Carol Hutchins off one hop down the third base line. And the crowd cheering and clapping as Hutchins says she's all right. But Allen really looking to swing with some power here, but just is a little bit ahead of these pitches from Jones.
Well, Hutchins.
The 2-2, that one's low.
Hutchins pointing towards the infield, telling her batter to hit it that hard there, not towards me.
Yeah.
Great reaction, though. Great reflex from the coach.
The 3-2 coming to Allen. She swings and does the exact same thing. Out in front of and just yanks it. That one went over the head of Hutchins down that line. Look out.
She's going to take her head off.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
3-2, the count remains, but she is really looking. And if she times one of these, it's a home run.
She's charged up.
Just cooking them right now. The 3-2 coming in.
Oh.
Man, there you go again. Bounce that one hard off the screen that protects the Rutgers dugout. All of them have been down that right field line, or left field line, rather.
Let's see if she can get this power in the right direction. She is just waiting to tee one off.
3-2 coming one more time. Whoa, what a gutsy take there from Lou Allen after so many foul balls. She draws her walk. It's the same as a single. Pad the OBP down to first, and now 2 on 2 outs for Madison Uden.
All that work for a walk, but Madison Uden, probably who you want at the plate right now, other than Tara. A lot of power.
And now we're going to have a pinch runner. Coming out of the game is Blanco. She will get ready to go back out there. And in coming in, the pinch runner for the Wolverines, number 8, Nikki Wald. And Allen also will exit. She will head to the dugout, and coming in for her is number 22, Thais Gonzalez. So a pair of pinch runners. Carol Hutchins trying to make it so that if Uden finds a gap, the Wolverines could potentially score a pair of runs and give themselves some insurance over Rutgers here in the bottom of the fourth.
Rutgers just needs one with 2 outs.
Uden delivers, and she lines it down the right field line. Rounding third and heading home is Wald. The throw to the plate, not in time. Uden goes down to second on the throw. Gonzalez at third, and Uden is just cranking them today. Ripping one down the line.
The pinch runners pay off. Nikki Wald showing off the speed, getting around the bag, sliding in to home. good coaching call to get the speed in there.
Yep, that's exactly what they were wanting. It wasn't quite a gap, but it was down the line enough that it gave time to come all the way back home for Wall. Gonzalez down there at third, Uden on second. They both have speed. And with Alexander at the plate, you have the opportunity for a single to bring in 2 more. As Michigan looking to give themselves some distance. 2 on, 2 outs. That was a first pitch to Uden, and she was ready for it, all over it, and just ripping it. That'll boost her average up to 385 on the year.
A little break in the action here as Rutgers tries to figure out how they want to attack this 2-out situation. Didn't seem like that dangerous when they walked Tara Blanco, but Wolverines have regained some life on the offensive end.
The old 2-out rally. Alexander is just a bit in front of that one and pulls it down the line.
Alexander is locked in at the plate as well right now. If she gets this into the outfield, more damage could be done.
And she is out in front of that one again. So these Michigan right-handed hitters have been out in front of these pitches and continue to pull them down the left field third base line. Uden, on the other hand, was not out in front of it. She was ready right off the bat, but these righty hitters, a little bit different approach to the righty Jones, I guess. And the 0-2 to Alexander. She lines it right to second base. Maya Moy is right there, so that'll end the inning. The runners are stranded on second and third, but Michigan does get a big 2-out single and advance to second on the throw by Uden to bring in a run. So Michigan gets their 3-run lead back. It's 4-1 after 4. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
So Wolverines able to answer Rutgers by scoring a run to keep the lead at 3 after 4 innings. Tara Blanco back on the pitching rubber. She will look to bounce back from allowing a couple Rutgers hits. Don't think that she is two-faced, though.
She'll get the 7, 8, 9, Iliopolis, Wells, and Bricard.
Should be a manageable workload for Tara Blanco, who has just been sensational from both sides.
Forecast looks okay, 30% at 8 p.m. chance of rain, but they'd like this game to get over sooner rather than later.
We'll see if the outs can get going. It's a beautiful night for softball here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Cloudy skies, but there is still a little light. The temperatures are about as nice as you would expect them to be in April in Ann Arbor.
Michigan looking to sweep this doubleheader and continue their quest for another Big Ten regular season softball title. Not sure how many exactly. They've got a list out there on the scoreboard in left field, but it's a very long list. So tough to kind of, looks like 19 is what we've been told here in the press box. For 1-0, and that pitch is fouled back by Iliopolis up over our head and off the roof.
Iliopolis, pretty fun name to say.
It is a fun one, and this is Iliopolis.
It's a tongue twister.
Very Greek name.
Yes. Tara really taking her time with pitches. Not quite like Megan. Megan just kind of churns them out one after the other.
That's why the emoji they use on Twitter for her is the robot one. There's a strike 1 and 2.
Well, it makes sense. She's a machine.
Yep. And that one just getting a piece is Iliopolis to stay alive. 1 and 2. One and 2, the count remains. Here's the pitch and popping it up down the third base line, and it will get back and out of play.
Now Rutgers getting in on the foul ball action down the first base line. Everybody wants to pepper them that way.
Yeah, that's where they've all been going here in this one. The 1-2 coming just outside. Count remains 2 and 2. The payoff pitch is a little high, 3 and 2, and they run it full. Been notified that this game is 80s night at Alumni Field, which is why we've been hearing a lot of 80s walk-up songs.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why we weren't hearing some of the usuals.
Yeah. 3-2, and there's a swing and a foul. That one was heading our way again, and it got a piece of the screen. So we had the big, the lengthy battle between Falk and Jones, and now we're having a lengthy battle between Iliopolis and Blanco here in the 5th.
Yeah, some persistent hitters lately.
Here's the 3-2 pitch and ground ball past the third baseman into the corner. Failing to cut it off there was Courtney Richardson, speeding into second for a double as Iliopolis. She ripped that one. Uden could have had a play for it, but it was going to be a tough one, and that'll go for a double. So Rutgers starting to find some rhythm against Blanco.
Finally, someone able to get the rip in play along that third base line, capitalizes with a double, and Rutgers not going away just yet.
No, they're still fighting. So Iliopolis is down there at second, and now Megan Wells steps in. The third baseman grounded out to third, her first time up. Check swing, that one went around, strike, 0-1.
Yeah, with no outs and a runner on second, Rutgers has got to find a way to bring Iliopolis into score.
Try to cut it back to a 2-run game, and that one is lifted into center field, charging hard as Peters. She makes the catch, 1 out. She sort of took a backtrack for a split second, looked like she was sizing it up, and then came running on in, made sure to hold Iliopolis there down at second. So that's what Michigan needed to get the out without letting the runner advance. And now looks like we might have a change of some kind.
Oh, it's like a new batter in.
A pinch hitter for Adriana Burkar, the center fielder. Instead, it's going to be,
I think it's number 13, Madison Cole.
Yep, number 13, Madison Cole.
Very tall player.
Yeah, Cole is quite tall. And have a much larger strike zone for Blanco to work with. And that one is high, 1-0. Cole is a freshman, a utility player.
The Rutgers drum continues to beat, trying to give the batter some rhythm.
The 1-0 to Cole. Oh, boy. She swung right by that one. Not close.
Not close. Tara Blanco taking advantage of the experience gap between herself and some of these hitters when she can.
Oh, and 1. Or excuse me, 1-1 on Cole. And that one is a nice off-speed pitch for a strike, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just outside 2-2.
Really close to hitting that same spot she just got for the last strike call, but the ump does not give in. Back to work for Blanco.
The 2-2 is in the dirt. Nice block by Alexander, and the count goes full on Madison Cole. The 3-2 coming, and that one is popped up, and it will go off the roof above our heads. The 3-2 pitch, oof, just a little high. And Blanco now puts 2 on with 1 out. That was a long battle. And Rutgers continuing to threaten here. And that will push it back to the top of the order. Jess Hughes coming up.
And Cole will be subbed out for a pinch runner. That's going to be number 9. Back in Adriana Burkar, who I believe was... Now, I think that was who Cole replaced.
Yeah, Cole replaced Burkar. It'll be Jess Hughes. The scoreboard announcer a little bit confused. 2 on, 1 out. 3 hits for Rutgers on the day. But Blanco now has issued a walk. The pitch is high, 1-0.
Rutgers heading into the most dangerous part of their lineup. Need to capitalize with runs on the board.
The 1-0 to Hughes, and she lines that one up the middle into center field. They're going to send the runner home. Peters comes up firing, throw to the plate, and he's out at the plate. Oh, what a play. And now coming out to argue is Nelson coming running home, the third base umpire, Sergio Villarreal. Or excuse me, that's Terry Holt coming in to talk to Villarreal. Now Laura Head will come on in. The throw home was bobbled by Alexander. I think they're going to argue about whether she was blocking the plate.
It looked like the ball was on the ground as well.
And now I think they're going to count the run.
They're going to count the run, yes.
4-2.
I don't think that Alexander had the ball in her glove again.
Yeah, I don't know. That was really a bang-bang play.
Looked like she dropped the ball again, picked it up, but the home plate could not quite see it. It's another bang-bang play that Rutgers is able to score on, though. Cutting the Michigan lead to 2, and we're still just 1 out, and Rutgers has 2 runners on. They have 2 batters that could still come up, and one of them is Rebecca Hall after Aklatube.
Aklatube is going to step in. She is 1 for 2 in this game. That pitch is high, 1-0. Again, Blanco having trouble finding it. And she was ahead in that at-bat against Cole. She was up 1-2, and she ended up giving up that walk and moving a runner into scoring position for that single by Hughes. And now Cole is at second. Hughes is at first in a 4-2 game. And it's high, 2-0.
Tara starting to have trouble on her location with the pitches. Rutgers is really in a good spot right now.
And now there's going to be a big conversation out in the circle. And Hutchins having a conversation with Alexander and Blanco. Blanco had just been on such a tear through the first 3 innings of this game and dating back several starts. Perhaps a little bit of a mean reversion. But they need to have her get her out of this inning. And then let the bats go back to work in the bottom of the 5th.
They can't fall behind in this count 3-0. She's got to get a foul ball or throw a strike on this pitch.
This game is a little bit closer than that first one.
It didn't start off that way. It looked like Michigan was well on their way to blowing things open again, scoring 3 runs in the second, loading the bases in the third. But ever since they've been unable to really do anything with that bases loaded third inning, giving up a run in the next.
Haklatube shows bunt and takes it for a strike, 2-1.
They gave up a run in the top of the fourth. Michigan answered with one of their own in the bottom, but giving up another run in the top of the fifth, and Rutgers can strike right now.
2 on, 1 out. Haklatube runs forward and checks it. They say it was high, 3-1. Blanco now at risk of loading the bases with only 1 out. Falks walks in and makes sure everything's all right. 3-1 coming to Haley Haklatube, and she bunts it, lays it down. Blanco fields, throw over to first, gets the out. Canfield fires back across. Oh boy, that was dangerous. A nice pick down there and they are sending the runners back. Called out of the box, an infraction.
The call's been made a couple times today.
Yep.
It's been made quite a few times in the 2 games today.
And now we got an intentional walk coming to Rebecca Hall, the most dangerous hitter in the Rutgers lineup. Michigan is content to put her on. And Blanco just delivering the pitches to Alexander. They're working around Hall, and they'll rather go at Maya Moy.
I mean, Rebecca Hall, so many extra base hits on the season.
Can't risk it.
Exactly.
So the 3-0 now from Blanco is, of course, outside. Hall goes down to first, and it's all loaded up. Hughes down to second, and Cole down to third. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Maya Moy at the plate. A single could tie the game. That's the risk you take with the intentional walk. And that pitch is high. There's nowhere to put her, so Blanco's got to find the zone.
Blanco needs to find her stuff right now. Not been her best inning.
The 1-0 strike on the inside part of the plate.
Coach Hutchins directing traffic where she wants her infielders placed. It's a big at-bat.
The 1-1 swing and a miss by Moy. 1-2.
Big pitch by Tara. Puts her in about as good of a position as she could ask for. See if she can get out of this inning without allowing more damage.
The crowd stomping their feet on the bleachers. The 1-2 coming to Moy. Check swing. They think they're going to appeal down to Head, and Laura Head says she does not go. So now it's 2-2. This is your last burnable pitch if you want to try to carve her up. She hasn't looked too confident in her swings. I think they might just go right back at her one more time. It's ready. The 2-2. Oh, boy, just high. 3-2.
Very close call. Full count. Big pitch.
Here we go.
Blanco could go either way.
3-2 in the on-deck circle is Bowman. Will she get a chance to see and hit this inning? The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. She got her on strikes.
Big pitch for Tara Blanco.
Huge strikeout there. Tara Blanco sits her down, and Michigan escapes the top of the fifth. Only 1 run given up, and they'll go back to bat in the bottom of the fifth.
See if the Wolverine bats can get going now and try and make this a less stressful game. But Rutgers showing some great fight. Not going away easily and really putting the pressure on Michigan to be at their best.
Making some things happen were Rutgers, but The wily veteran Blanco gets out of the jam with a huge strikeout of Maya Moy.
Big crowd, almost 2,000.
Tonight's attendance, 1,987, or 1987 on 80s night here at Alumni Field.
Rutgers going to come out playing with a lot more energy now. Know that they did have Michigan on their heels. It's going to be up to Michigan to respond and show that they are in firm control of this game.
Here in the bottom of the fifth, Michigan, if they score 6 runs, the game is over. But they just like a couple. Give themselves some insurance here in the bottom of the fifth. Falk, Hoganrod, and Rodriguez here in the bottom of the fifth inning, the 7, 8, 9. Falk 1 for 2 with a home run and a flyout here in this game, and she grounds it, base it into right field. First pitch swinging, and Aiden Falk, who is just having a monster day to finally break out of the slump, and she slaps a single to the right side of the infield.
Job by Aiden Falk to put her foot down and give Michigan some added momentum. See if they can shift the tide.
So runner on first, nobody out for Haley Hoganrod, who has a pair of singles in this one and continues to just be a monster at Alumni Field. And she hits the first pitch down the left field line, past the diving Haklatube. Falk rounding third. Hutchins is waving her home. And nope, she's going to now throw up the stop sign. A double for Haley Hoganrod, who emphatically swings the arm in a fist pump forward. And now Michigan with back-to-back hits here to start the fifth. Can they bring in some runs and give some insurance to the pitching staff? Runners on second and third.
What was it that you said, Haley Hoganrod?
Hoganrod, yeah.
She loves it here at Alumni. Big hit to left field. Michigan trying to seize control for good as Rutgers makes a pitching change.
And we are going to have a new pitcher entering this one. Number 23,
Bianca
Vosenelik.
She brings a 4.1 ERA in, 1-0 on the year in 16 appearances. In 29 innings pitched, she has struck out 17 and given up 7 walks and allowed 17 earned runs.
Vosenelik, 16 appearances, 29 innings. She's been used more as a closer type, late inning. They've got Living on a Prayer playing here at the ballpark on 80s night as Vosenelik gets her warm-up, pitches in. Michigan an opportunity to give themselves some padding and start to put this game away from Rutgers. If they can bring in these runners on second and third with nobody out there, 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position on the day and 5 for 13 with runners on. They've been pretty good in that regard, but they're going to need some clutch hitting. It's going to be Natalia Rodriguez. And Rodriguez had been in, and then obviously with the pitching change, she's going to have to adjust and be the first one to see Vosenelik.
And Vosenelik, just a freshman, so
the big moment for Bianca Vosenelik, and she delivers the first. That's in the dirt. Rodriguez shows bunt and pulls it back. Perhaps a squeeze. Slap hitter Rodriguez, 280 on the season, 379 OBP. Grounded out her first time up. The 1-0, she lays the bunt down, and there's going to be no play. Coming in on the play was the third baseman, Wells. She picked it up and looked home to see if perhaps there was a squeeze. Maybe Falk was going to scamper home. There was no play. Rodriguez, so quick, gets down to first. She gets the infield single. Runners don't change, but now the bases are loaded and nobody out for Michigan's best hitter by average, Faith Canfield.
Executed to perfection the bunt. Make Rutgers make a decision.
Canfield delivers, and her first swing just goes a little high and off the screen down that first base line, one of the only foul balls we've seen down that way. And with the bases loaded, she's really got an opportunity to bust the game wide open. It's a pinata waiting there.
It's an old saying one of my coaches used to give us. He said, make them make the decision and make sure that they are wrong. That's how it happened on that bunt. And now Michigan in a really good position here with no outs. The bases loaded.
10 hits now on the day for Michigan. They had 11 in the first one in 5 innings. And scored 11 runs. Their power was a little bit bigger of a factor. Here's the first pitch, and Canfield pops it sky high in the infield grass. No play for Falk to come home. So that's a big first out for Vosenilek.
Canfield, if she could have just gotten a little bit more on it, I think that potentially you get Aiden Falk with a chance to tag up. But Canfield is not able to get enough. The bat on the ball.
Peters now to the plate. 1 out. She's 1 for 3. She had a single up the middle. Her first time up. Michigan would like that here. She takes that one low and inside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. That is outside, 2-0. Vosenilek now in a pickle. Nowhere to put Peters. And this is the last pitch to burn.
Peters tough to pitch to. The lefty slapper.
The 2-0. That one is low and outside, 3-0. And guess who's on deck? This is not what you want. Tara Blanco in the on-deck circle.
Peters can take a walk. Then Rutgers will surely be sweating.
Blanco came forward to whisper some words to Peters as there was a conference on the mound between Melito and Vosenilek. Here's the 3-0 coming. That one's outside. That's a ball 4. It'll walk in a run. And now Michigan takes a 5-2 lead in this game. And Tara Blanco stepping in.
The nightmare scenario for Rutgers is having the bases loaded and Blanco coming up to bat. This is exactly the spot she wants to be in. She wants to get those runs back that she gave up. You know she's looking to go deep.
She hit the walk-off homer to seal it in the bottom of the 5th, in this exact frame in the first game. We'll see how she approaches Vosenilek. She takes a strike, and that's good and a confident pitch there from Vosenilek to get back throwing the right pitches.
One of the tougher batters that Vosenilek has probably seen this year.
The 0-1, that's inside, 1-1. Bianca Vosenilek delivers the 1-1 pitch. That one's outside, and as we know, Blanco is more than comfortable to take some walks. She had 3 in the first game, and then had the old intentional, unintentional walk back in the 4th. She's ahead 2-1 on Vosenilek. Oof, out in front of that one and taps it foul. 2-2. Trying not to be over aggressive. She had something to hit, but unable to quite do it.
Hutchins telling her to just settle down and take her time. No need to rush. Take the pitch that she wants.
Here comes the 2-2. Swinging a liner down the left field line into the corner. 1 run will score. Rounding third and heading home. Sliding in safe was the 2nd run, Rodriguez. Michigan now up 7-2.
Great job by Tara. Coleman collected at the plate. Drills it down the 3rd baseline. Right where it needed to go. Bringing home 2 speedy runs for Michigan.
And now Lou Allen is going to be pinch hit for. We have a lefty pinch hitter against the righty Vosenilek. It's going to be number 5, Abby Skvars.
Her first action of the day.
Abby Skvars, 300 on the season, appearing in 18 games. She is not only the backup catcher, also can occasionally play elsewhere, but with Alexander being so good, she hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but does get the occasional pinch hit, and now she's got some chances to make an impact. 2 on, 1 out, and Skvars at the plate. She takes that one low and in, 1-0. She is, by the way, the game-winning run at the plate. A 3-run homer would run rule it. 8 runs after 5. And that pitch is high, 2-0 now. And Vosenilek, who walked Peters on 4 pitches and fell behind Blanco, is now behind Skvars, 2-0. And Uden on deck. Oh, boy, that pitch was over the head of Skvars, 3-0. Vosenilek all over the place right now.
And Vosenilek not looking too comfortable on the pitching rubber right now. And she's not going to like who the Wolverines have due up either.
The 3-0 coming. Skvars takes it all the way, and that's a ball 4. Man, Vosenilek just really struggling at the current moment. And coming in from third to chat is going to be Wells. And we're also going to get members of the Rutgers coaching staff out to speak, along with Melito. I think we're going to have a pitching change coming up.
It looks like it.
Exiting is Vosenilek. She gives the ball to Nelson. And the new pitcher, we are waiting to see the number.
It's got to be number 34. Taylor Mono, I think.
Yes, that's what it looks like.
Yes.
Yep, Taylor Mono is coming in.
This is the only pitcher that Rutgers has not used so far today. She comes in with a 7.0 ERA. 9 appearances, 19 innings pitched. She has given up 13. She has 13 strikeouts, given up 8 walks,
But
19 earned runs.
pronunciation clarification is Taylor Mano.
Man, okay.
She is also a righty and will be facing the lefty Uden with the bases juiced and 1 out. Homer or a double could maybe end it. Skvars on first, Tara on second, and then down at third, Natalie Peters. Bases loaded, 1 out. Michigan leads 7-2 over Rutgers in the bottom of the 5th. 11 hits now for the Wolverines. And Uden, who has just had a really good day, had a homer in the first game, a grand slam. In fact, this would be an opportunity for a second grand slam of the day. She has a walk and an RBI single to her credit so far in this one. One she ripped down the right field line her first time up. Saw first pitch and just delivered. And she pops it straight up, foul territory though, and that one will get back. Taking her cuts and being aggressive. Uden with 3 homers on the season in her sophomore breakout campaign. 385 average, 459 OBP, 583 slugging. The 0-1 from Mano, and just catching up to it is Uden. She's really throwing some heat right now.
She's just got to get on base.
Keep the hit parade going.
Doesn't need to go over the fence. Just needs to get on base.
Michigan now 6 of 13 with runners in scoring position on the day, trying to make it 7 for 14. And that pitch is way high, 1-2. The 1-2 coming, swing and a miss. She was swinging with everything she had, and that heat from Mano goes right by her.
Big strikeout from Mano. Wow.
The freshman pitcher showing off the velocity.
So 1 more out for the Wolverines to work with if they want to run rule it. Katie Alexander, who's done very nice today.
She has a double and a walk to her credit in this game. Lined out to second her last time up. Uh-oh, that pitch is over the head of the catcher, and coming home to score is Natalie Peters. Her speed coming right down from third. It went over the head of Melito. It's now 8-2 Michigan, and with the runners moving up to second and third, a single by Alexander could end the game. And now Melito's going to go out to chat. With Mano.
So Michigan in a very similar situation to the one they were in our first game, trying to walk off with things in the 5th.
Trying to run through Rutgers for the second time today. The 1-0 pitch, swinging a fly ball to center, but under it is Burkar, and she will make the catch. So that'll end the inning, but Michigan gets 4 huge runs, exactly what they needed to give themselves some comfort. Here as we head to the top of the 6th, our score, Michigan 8, Rutgers 2. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
So Rutgers still has a couple chances to break into this, but Michigan really established control after a shaky top of the 5th inning. Really reestablished control and momentum with the bottom of the inning, scoring 4 runs. Great response by the Michigan Wolverines. We'll see if Tara Blanco can limit the Rutgers bats in the top of the 6th. Tomorrow, looking across the way, you can kind of see Canham Natatorium very close by. That's where I'll be tomorrow morning for Michigan water polo coverage at 9:30 a.m. early Saturday morning.
Maybe the only Michigan sport that will be playing tomorrow with all the rain coming. The softball game scheduled for tomorrow was moved to earlier this afternoon. That was a game we had here, and Michigan won it by a score of 11-1. They lead this one 8-2. Nicole Bowman is going to be leading off for the Scarlet Knights, and if you're Blanco, you beginning. Reestablish confidence, go right out there and take care of business.
Yeah, you want to see Tara take care of this inning quickly.
That one is a foul straight into the dirt. Alexander picks it up and fires it back. The temperatures are starting to drop. It was a high of 62 today. We're now down to 54 degrees at 7:46 p.m. Game started about 6 exactly. The 0-1 coming, Bowman swings and misses. And the count now goes to 0-2.
The colder temperatures associated with the oncoming storm. A little science for you.
The 0-2 pitch is a little low, 1-2. It will be significantly colder the next couple days, 43 on Saturday, 46 on Sunday, and then down to 37 and potential snow on Monday. Pitch, that one is also in the dirt, trying to get Bowman to chase. Not happening, and Falk steps in a bit to say something to Blanco, who then turns around, steps back on the rubber, and gets ready for the 2-2. Got her, strike 3. Ooh.
Emphatic call by the umpire.
Yeah, a little bit of a late call, too. So that's a strike 3. 1 out. If you're Blanco, you look to get some quicker outs. Put your bats right back out there. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 6th. Swing and a base hit into left field. First pitch hit by Christine Melito, who grounded out to short her last time up, and she's out in front of that one and hits a single.
So Rutgers might be one of their last chances to really respond in this game, showing that they are not done fighting just yet on Friday night.
Here's Iliopoulos. She doubled her last time up. And that pitch is fouled back to the screen. 0-1.
Tara trying to work through 2 more outs, get her bats back out.
The 0-1 pitch is taken high, 1-1. One and one, swinging a ground ball to short. They could turn two, but Rodriguez is only going to have play for one, and she throws it over the head of Canfield. Oof. That was an opportunity for maybe a double play, if not just a fielder's choice, but Rodriguez airmails the throw over the head of Canfield, and now there's 2 on and 1 out. That'll be an error on Rodriguez, who bobbled the initial scoop, too. A rare lapse in normally so solid shortstop.
A rare error for the Michigan Wolverines. Coming into this game, they had only 2 errors in their last 24. So not something that we're accustomed to seeing very often. Rare mistake.
Megan Wells will take a strike one. Oh, and 1 on Wells. That is taken for a strike. 0-2.
Back-to-back really crisp pitches by Tara Blanco. See if she can put Wells away.
She can finish off Megan Wells. The 0-2 coming. That is high at the letters. 1-2. And now Falk once again takes a few paces in towards the circle and says something to Blanco. 1-2 and popped up on the right side. Does Falk have room? Yes, she does. Makes the catch.
Great catch by Aiden Falk. Great concentration. Sky-high foul ball. And just bending over the dugout wall. Excellent work.
So now 2 on, 2 outs for the Scarlet Knights. And it will go to their number 9 hitter, Burkar. But it looks like we might have a pinch hitter. 29 is the number we've been given. Aaron Collins, who we saw in the first game. In that one, Collins was the designated player, and she went 0 for 2. She takes that first one for a ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Blanco putting it by Collins. The 1-1 coming, swinging a liner to first and into the glove of Aiden Falk. Falk with 2 fine plays to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Michigan leads Rutgers 8-2. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports. Some rough defense early in that inning with Rodriguez's error, but then getting picked up by Falk.
Yeah, not quite as clean as you'd like it to be. Could just be a result of the doubleheader taking its toll, but Wolverines at least able to escape the top of the 6th without giving up any more runs. And you'd like to see if their bats can do just a little bit more damage here.
All they need is 2.
But either way, you do have to just commend the Wolverines for what's been a solid day of doubleheader softball, taking care of business for the most part so far. See if they can finish the job.
So we look at some Big Ten scores. Wisconsin's game against Illinois was rained out. Purdue and Nebraska went at it earlier in the day. They did a doubleheader. Nebraska took the first one 8-7. Now they're in the second inning of their second game. Minnesota took on Iowa, and the Gophers, that was also a doubleheader. All this rain coming through the Midwest. Minnesota won the first one 6-2. Now they're up 3-0 in the bottom of the first. Minnesota starting to turn their season around. Aiden Falk swings on the first pitch and hits it hard and deep, and it is gone, a home run. Wow, just look up to see the first pitch of the inning, and Falk barrels it up, hits it over the left field wall, and there's one.
Well, that was fast.
Her second home run of the day, and again, breaking out of the slump, Aiden Falk delivering home run number 6 on the season. That will move her into second place, into a tie with Faith Canfield. That'll bring up Haley Hoganrod. Michigan now 1 run away.
Gotta keep the foot on the gas.
You can smell a little bit of mistiness.
You can smell the storm.
Yeah, it's coming.
Meteorology.
Can we get the game over with? Hoganrod pops it up into shallow left field, ranging backwards and called off, and making the play is Hakla Tube over Hughes. Hughes got called off, and having to lean over Hughes was Hakla Tube to make the catch. So 2 quick batters here in the bottom of the 6th, a home run and an out. We'll bring up Natalia Rodriguez. She'll try to get on and create opportunities for Canfield to end the game. Michigan leads 9-2 on 12 hits for the Wolverines, 5 for the Scarlet Knights.
It's the barrage of home runs today for Michigan. So impressive.
That pitch is down and in on Rodriguez, 1-0. They've now gotten a pair of home runs from Falk in this one, along with a home run from Uden and from Blanco in the first game, 4 on the day. And that one is fouled up and out of the stadium by Rodriguez. One and one the count on Rodriguez, and she taps it softly to third and just beating it out.
Oh,
or was the throw? Oof. Wells to Hall. Quick delivery, and now 2 outs. Going to need something big from Canfield. Canfield steps in. She's capable of hitting a homer too, and she takes that one high. As Taylor Mano continues to work here with 2 outs. They'll send Blanco out there one more time to finish it off. There's a strike, 1-1. One and one on Canfield. She swings and hits it softly into left field. Charging is Hakla Tube. She won't make the play. That one drops in 1 step in front of her. So a single there for Canfield. She goes to 2 for 5 on the day. And now it brings up Natalie Peters.
Good hit by Faith Canfield. It's keeping her team alive for another opportunity. So Natalie Peters can extend the game just a little bit more with Tara Blanco in the batter's circle.
And that's a swing and a foul tip by Peters. That one is high on Peters, 1-1 to finish off our Big Ten scores. Penn State leads Michigan State 7-5 in the 5th. And then Ohio State, who's one of Michigan's main rivals for the Big Ten title, dropped a game in Evanston at Northwestern. The 1-1 on Peters is high, 2-1. Michigan continues to have a pretty comfy lead overall. Only Indiana is really on their heels. And now coming out for a conversation is Nelson and Melito to talk.
The big Indiana series at the end of the month.
That will be big. Indiana's been a surprise here in the Big Ten. They did not have a good non-conference. I sort of, wrote them down as an easy rollover for Michigan, but they've been good in the Big Ten. They won today against Maryland 10-1.
Wow. Taking care of business.
Now that'll be Michigan's second to last series of the Big Ten season in Bloomington, and then they return home to play Ohio State And if they could sweep Indiana, that would basically put the Big Ten away without even, having to take into account the last weekend.
Looks like we're ready to get back to play here.
2-1, the count on Peters. As Mano steps back on. Peters stares her down. Here's the 2-1 pitch and getting a piece. There to put it back to the screen, 2-2. Canfield down there at first, 2 outs. 9-2 Michigan over Rutgers. And here it is. Peters grounds it right to the first baseman who steps on. Hall gets the 3rd out, and that'll end the inning. So we go to the top of the 7th. Michigan 3 outs away from the doubleheader sweep. Last call for the Scarlet Knights to try to avoid getting swept up. Some of the fans starting to pack up their things as victory is imminent and the rain could be starting at any time.
Looks like Sarah Schaefer is actually going to head out to finish things up.
Schaefer's been pretty good for the Wolverines this season. The righty freshman from West Des Moines, Iowa, who had a perfect game, a 5-inning perfect game, I believe it was. That was against Robert Morris, right?
I was there for that game,
Yep.
Yes, in Oxford, Ohio. She was very efficient.
She's had some struggles in the Big Ten play. She was really not even considered to be much of a piece. We didn't even really think she was going to get to pitch much this season. But she's emerged as a very solid number 3 starter and obviously will ascend probably to number 2 next season when Blanco graduates. And Michigan is going to be comfortable with that.
Yeah, Schaefer and Beaubien are really shaping up to be a very nice 1-2 punch for the next couple of years in the Big Ten. Really scary to think about the fact that both of them are just freshmen.
Next 3 years, both freshmen, and obviously Michigan will add pitchers in the coming recruiting classes. They had a very good one this past year, and I believe it's another good one coming next year. So all the talent down the pipeline as Michigan's trying to get back to the Women's College World Series. They made it in 2015 and 2016, fell 1 game short in 2015. They've made the Women's College World Series 12 times, 19 Big Ten titles, 12 Women's College World Series appearances, 40 straight winning seasons. 34-7 on the year out of the Wolverines, trying to go to 35-7 and get up to that 80% winning percentage clip. Home plate umpire Villarreal dusts off the dish. Here we go, top of the 7th. It'll be the top of the order for the Scarlet Knights to face Schaefer, who has a 1.51 ERA and a .935 whip. She's given up a pair of homers on the season, and that pitch is down in the dirt against Jess Hughes, the shortstop, who's 1 for 3 today with an RBI single back in that 5th inning that got very tight before Blanco had to strike out Maya Moy to end it.
She's a pretty nice leadoff hitter, does make some solid contact with the ball.
That pitch is a little bit low, 2-0, and now Blanco's going to trot out and give some words to Schaefer. Needs to be careful against Hughes, who does have 3 home runs. This Rutgers team hits with a bit of power. Haven't seen it today, though. The 2-0 pitch coming. That's a strike. 2-1.
A nice pitch for Sarah Schaefer. See if she can settle in and get some batters retired now.
As usual, Michigan going to their non-Blanco defensive alignment. The 2-1 coming. That is low, 3-1. Blanco moves out to first. Falk moves out to right. Hoganrod kicks over to left, and Richardson will head back to the dugout. That's the defense behind Schaefer. 3-1 on Jess Hughes. Here's the pitch. Just a little low. Schaefer, not what you wanted to see. 11 walks through 46 1/3 entering this game, and she gives up a leadoff walk to Hughes.
Again, Schaefer 2-3 on the year, but really not representative of some of the games that she has pitched in.
Yeah.
A lot of close losses and then times where it's been tied and someone else takes over.
There's a strike. 0-1 on Haley Hakla-Tube. who is 1 for 3 in this game, with a single in the fourth. The lefty up against the righty Schaefer. The 0-1 coming. That's a strike, 0-2.
Be really encouraging if she could finish this with a strikeout. Just have some room to work with, though.
The 0-2 coming, swinging a ground ball to first. Blanco will step on it. Not going to bother throwing down to second. So the runner moves up, but 1 out. Michigan now 2 outs away. But they have to deal with the mighty number 3 hitter, Rebecca Hall, who was intentionally walked back in the 5th to set up that bases loaded confrontation with Moy. Otherwise, a pair of outs created by Hall in this one. This will be a good test for Schaefer, and she starts her off with a strike.
It's a good test. The only way you're going to get better is if you go against the best. So Sarah Schaefer got to test her stuff against one of the better hitters in the conference.
Hall 6 homers on the year, 6 triples and 11 doubles. Had the only RBI in the first game, and she skies that one foul. That'll get up and over the edge of the stadium, I believe. 0-2, and Schaefer is ahead. She has some margin to work with. The 0-2 pitch coming, swing, and that one is same thing, popped high and up, back out of the stadium over the top of the third base side bleachers. Uh-oh, that is inside, and it hits Hall. Oh, that's rough. Head 0-2 in the count against a really good hitter, and Schaefer just unable to find her command right there and plunks Hall. So now 2 on, 1 out for the Scarlet Knights. Maya Moy steps up. She's 0 for 3 on the day, 2 ground outs to short and 1 strikeout. It was a 3-2 count, I believe, on Moy when Blanco blew it by her. And that is outside, 1-0. As the sun is just about fully set. The lights have been on all day. That pitch is taken high, 2-0. Schaefer really struggling, and now it's going to be a conference. Alexander going out there to talk.
Yeah, I mean, Rutgers not going to let Michigan just walk out of here easily, still applying pressure even in the top of the 7th inning. I want to see Sarah Schaefer attack with some confidence like she did against Robert Morris in that perfect game, which was also on her birthday, I believe.
Yes, it was. And now a full defensive conference, and coming out to break it up is Sergio Villarreal, the home plate umpire. 2-0, the count on Moy. In the right-handed batters by the left side of the plate, righty hitter Moy against the righty Schaefer, and she lines it right to third. Uden gloves it and got ready to trigger to try and double one off to end the game, but both runners scamper back. So now Michigan 1 out away.
Great reaction, great catch by Madison Uden. Does so much, so well for this team. Solid at the third base position. And now it's just up to the Wolverine defense to finish the job.
Nicole Bowman steps in, the lefty hitter against the righty Schaefer. Schaefer delivers the first pitch, swinging a grounder, tap foul. Uden comes over and gloves it 0-1, 2 strikes away. The crowd stomping their feet against the bleachers. And there's that one, tapped foul once again. So now the count goes to 0-2. This is it. Michigan looking for their 10th conference win of the season. trying to drop Rutgers to 2-7 in Big Ten play on the year. Michigan would move to 10-1, but now there's a conversation going on in the mound, and Carol Hutchins and Bonnie Thole have both come out to talk to the umpires. Now they're motioning towards Schaefer. Not exactly sure what the conversation is about. They were speaking to both the umpires at the first and third base sides, but no changes are made, and the count remains 0-2.
Not quite sure what that was about.
Crowd stomping their feet. The 0-2 pitch. Got her, strike 3, and that'll do it, I believe.
Oh, I guess.
Oh, I thought he went up with the right hand.
It looks like the count must have been wrong. Yeah.
They changed the count from 0-2 to 1-1 is what we've been told. That pitch is grounded to short. Rodriguez has got to hurry. Throw over to first. Got her there. And that'll do it anyway. Michigan wins. They defeat Rutgers 9-2. Thought it was over, but one pitch longer, and they finally do finish it out. They win these games by a combined score of 20-3, 11-1 in the first, 9-2 in the second. They move to 10-1 on the season. Rutgers drops to 2-7. Those are in Big Ten play. Michigan 35-7 on the year. Lucas, your final thoughts?
Say it's really encouraging to see the offense play at such a high level. A couple of defensive miscues that shouldn't really be too much of a concern, in my opinion, for Michigan. Really encouraging to see the bats. So many home runs today. So much power.
Fans begin to file out. A Michigan sweep of the doubleheader here. We want to thank you for joining us for both these games. We'll be around Sunday if there is a game. We'll see about that. But for now, from Lucas Fargas, I'm Alex Drain saying good night and go blue.